Hey beautiful friends, welcome back to the Lucy Chronicles. Today I have an update for you on my March TBR because we are halfway through the month. I've read several books already and my TBR has changed drastically. I am not going to be talking as much about the books that I've already read because I want to save those for my end of month wrap-up video. I want to talk about the books I'm going to be reading moving forward because I completely forgot about two huge reading challenges that are going on this month. Middle Grade March and March Mystery Madness. I am like so late coming into this challenge. We're halfway through the month already. So it's ambitious to start now, but I'm coming into this knowing that I'm probably not going to fulfill every single prompt. But the beautiful thing about these challenges, about both of these reading marathons, as they call them, is they say you just have to read one book to participate. If you read one middle grade book in the month of March, you have participated in Middle Grade March. If you read one mystery book in the month of March, you have participated in March Mystery Madness. These are two types of books that I just don't gravitate towards. I love YA. I love romance, specifically rom-coms and contemporary. And I love me Harry Potter. Like, that's its own genre to me because every fantasy book I've read doesn't even come close to Harry Potter. So those are my three favorite genres: romance, young adult, and Harry Potter. There are 5 prompts to Middle Grade March, and there are 9 prompts to March Mystery Madness, which is a total of 14 prompts. And I have selected almost a different book for every prompt. Almost. There are a couple that I've doubled up on. Again, I don't anticipate reading all of these. I really just wanted to see if I could find a book to fulfill all of these prompts. That's part of the fun of it. But it's really more of a guideline. The hosts for Middle Grade March are Katie, Amanda, and Krista. I do believe those are the right first names. I don't remember their channel names, but I will link all 3 of them down below. They actually have an entire YouTube channel called Middle Grade March. I'll link that down below too so that you guys can check out their announcement video. They're amazing. I love them so much, and I'm actually really excited about these prompts, and I was able to find a different book for each prompt, and I'm actually really proud of myself. And I do think I'm going to be able to read all 5 of these. So without further ado, let's talk about Middle Grade March. We'll talk about March Mystery Madness after we're done here. But do you guys like my Def Leppard sweatshirt? I literally just bought this today because I went to work in like this slinky little blue blouse and no jacket, no sweater, no cardigan, nothing over it. I am not usually a cold-blooded person. Wait, I usually am a cold-blooded person. I'm usually always hot. Like, I am usually almost always sweating. And so I thought that that was going to be enough for me. But you guys, not even halfway through the day, I was freezing. Y'all, like, I cannot handle this anymore. So I went into the juniors department and I bought me a sweatshirt. This was pretty cheap. It didn't cost me much money, but I just had to add another layer of comfort and warmth. Okay. So the first prompt is to read a middle grade book with a 1-word title. For this prompt, I really wanted to read Refugee by Gratz. Is it Alan Gratz? Is that his name? I'll put a picture of the cover here because this would have fulfilled at least 2 of the prompts, possibly 3. But my library did not have it. And so I decided to just go with one that I hauled this month. And well, in February I hauled it, but it was in my last video. And thank you, Miss Kepnick. Thank you very, very, Mrs. Hermer. Sorry, you were Miss Kepnick to me back when you were my teacher, but thank you very much. So I've decided that for this prompt, I've decided to read Wonder. It has to happen. I've procrastinated it long enough, and I'm just gonna do it. I've already started it, you guys. I'm 80 pages in. I'm actually on page 82. We are at a tour of the galaxy. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have already cried more than once. This is such an important story, you guys. Please go read it. I'm not even halfway through, and I can already tell that this is gonna be a 5-star read for me. August is such a beautiful, sweet, precious boy, and the things that he has had to endure, only 80 pages in, I'm obsessed. I'm absolutely entranced by her writing and by these characters, and my heart just breaks. It's just breaks. Yes, this is what I will be reading for that first prompt. So, okay, second prompt is to read an author's debut. So I had to do a little bit of research for this. I decided again, since it's already on my shelf and it's her debut, I would read Anne of Green Gables, because why not? I've been wanting to. I just recently hauled it, and I know the story really well, and there really isn't an excuse. So this is what I'm going to read for that one. And I'm not going to talk too much about that book, because in my last video, I literally droned on and on and on. I just blabbed and blabbed and blabbed. I'm so sorry. But I will tell you that I have since started watching the new-ish Netflix series called Anne with an E, and it is really cute. The third prompt is to read a refugee story or an immigration story. This is one that I had to go to the library for. I picked up Front Desk by Kelly Yang. I don't know a ton about this book. All I know is it's about a little girl named Mia and her parents, and they are Chinese immigrants living in California in a hotel that she runs the front desk for, little Mia Tang does, and they're hiding immigrants in this hotel, illegal immigrants, and the hotel owner is a bully. That's really all I know. I have heard that it is pretty heavy, that there's some pretty heavy, deep topics in this, that the cover is a little bit deceiving because it looks like it's going to be a light and fluffy, fun read, but people have said that it'll actually hit you in the feels and make you think, and there's some hard topics in here. So the fourth prompt is to read a book with an animal on the cover. So for this one, I decided to go with Book Scavenger by Jennifer Chambliss Bertman. I really hope I didn't butcher that. Again, I don't know a ton about it. All I know is that it's about a little girl named Emily and her brother Matthew and their parents, who are freelancers, have this bucket list of living in every state in the United States at least once. But Emily is an avid reader, and she's obsessed with this online scavenger hunt called Book Scavenger that this man named Griswold has created. And Emily and Matthew and her family have just moved to San Francisco, which is the home of this Mr. Griswold. And Griswold is just getting ready to announce a new game for his fans, and he goes missing. And so her and her new neighbor James, they go on this hunt to try to find Mr. Griswold, solve what happened to him, and figure out what this new game is gonna be. And I can kind of see where it's going, but I'm actually really excited to read this because I think that it's I just think it's going to be really cute. The last prompt for this challenge is to read a book that you feel you missed out on. So this, you can interpret this any way you want to, whether it's one that you never read it growing up, or maybe it's one that you read growing up but you feel like you didn't really appreciate and now you want to reread it as an adult, or maybe it's one that they've talked about in previous middle grade March years and you never got to participate in. So interpret it however you want to. And a couple of these could have fulfilled that prompt, like Wonder definitely could have fulfilled that prompt. Same with Anne of Green Gables. I could have thrown Little House on the Prairie in here. I decided I wanted to put one in that I haven't talked about and that I genuinely want to read. Like, I'm genuinely in the mood to read. So I am starting a new series, y'all. And I'm a little embarrassed to tell you that I have not read this series. I have the whole set on my shelf. You can see it right here. I'm so embarrassed. The book that I am going to be reading for this prompt is The Magician's Nephew by C.S. Lewis. I have not read The Chronicles of Narnia. Shocker, I have seen The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I've seen Prince Caspian, and I've seen Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Shocker, right? Magician's Nephew, from what I know, is basically just setting the stage for the wardrobe, telling us the history, telling us some things that have happened leading up to the wardrobe, how it was created, how it was found, and just basically prepping the stage for Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. These are not difficult reads, you guys, so I don't anticipate having trouble finishing them before the end of the month. These are 5 little chapter books that I don't think I'm going to struggle getting through. I could be being cocky, maybe I'm being naive and I'm being over ambitious, but this right here, this little stack, doesn't intimidate me. It actually inspires me and motivates me to sit down and read. Okay, so now let's talk about March Mystery Madness, because that is another reading marathon that I want to at least dabble in. There are a couple of prompts that are very important to me to fulfill. I don't know a ton about the history of March Mystery Madness. I just know that this is the 9th anniversary of it. And because of that, the theme this year is to the 9s, which means that there are 9 prompts and all of the prompts have to do somehow with the number 9. And so I have 5 different books here to talk about. And I have figured out a way to fulfill all 9 prompts. So I will show you guys how I've done that. But I just want to throw out a disclaimer that no way do I think I'm going to finish all of these. Some of these especially are really chunky books. And I'm not a big mystery reader. I'm big time a mood reader, you guys. And if I'm not in the mood, if I'm not in the mood to read a book, I'm not going to read it. I'm going to read what I want to read. And so this is a very loose TBR. This is a pile of possibilities. That's what they call it on BookTube. This is a POP, a pop. There are 2 prompts on this list that are very important to me that I fulfill. And I will talk about those when we get there. But first prompt is dressed to the 9s. So this is basically read a book that has formal wear on the cover. I, for this one, am going to be reading Miss Marple's Tuesday Night Club. I'll put a picture right here of what the cover is that I found online. I'm not going to be reading that cover. I actually checked out a collection of the complete Miss Marple short stories by Agatha Christie, and the Tuesday Night Club is in this book. but obviously this cover doesn't have any formal wear. So honestly, truthfully, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I just kind of started Googling these titles to see if any of the covers had formal wear, and this is the first one that popped up. So that's what I'm gonna go with for this first prompt. The second prompt is 999, which is the UK's equivalent to 911 here in the United States. So it's their emergency dispatch number. And so for this prompt, we are supposed to read a British mystery. I could easily just choose another short story from Agatha Christie here, but I decided just to shake things up a little bit. I went ahead and grabbed Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. I don't know which one I'm going to read. I'm going to hold this up so you guys can see the contents. You guys can let me know in the comments if there's one on here that you think I should read first. Third prompt is 9 Lives. So this is to read a book with a cat on the cover. I had to go to my library for this. Originally, I was going to do the Lillian Jackson Brown series because my mom is obsessed with that author. She's read everything from her, and she says that they're all really good. But I couldn't get my hands on the 9th book of that series, and I really want to double up on this because one of the prompts coming up here is to read the 9th book in a series. And so for this one, I'm doing Cause and Effect, which is a Mrs. Murphy mystery by Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown. I do not know anything about this author. I just know that from the research I read, you do not have to read these in order. And since there aren't any mystery series that I am at the 9th book, I wanted to make sure that it was, you know, that it was one that I could read out of order. And the Lillian Jackson Brown ones you can read out of order, which is why I was originally going to go for that one, but they didn't have it on the shelf and it would have taken a while to get it in. So I decided to do this one. I saw it. I was like, there's a little kitty on here. And I think, from what I understand, it's actually written in the point of view of the cat. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is because it's the Mrs. Murphy mystery, and Mrs. Murphy is one of the cats. And so I don't know anything really about this, and I don't know if my mom has read these or not. I'm gonna have to ask her. So I don't know if there's any content in here that's gonna make me uncomfortable or that's gonna like push the envelope for me. I will definitely let you know, but I'm actually kind of excited to read this because I just really want to kind of embrace the month and end on a good note on reading some things that I haven't read before. So that is the one. Should we read the flap to this, you guys? I do not have my cheaters, but what do you get when you take an acclaimed author and pair her with a writer of the feline persuasion, a fiendishly clever mystery series that is the Cat's Meow? Now Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown have done it again, concocted a perfectly ingenious mystery that only a clever puss could entangle. And this time out, as murder makes its rounds at a hospital, Tiger Cat Mrs. Murphy must pounce on every clue to save her human from a coldly calculating killer. Clause and Effect. As winter puts tiny Crozette, Virginia, in a deep freeze, everyone seems to be suffering from a case of the winter blahs, including postmistress Mary Minor Harrison, who knows things must be dull if the hottest topic of conversation is a chain letter from the mysterious sister Sofonishpa. I'm sorry, I don't have my cheaters. Even Harry's cats, Mrs. Murphy and Pewter, and her corgi, T. Tucker, hadn't been able to dig up any dirt lately. Wow, that's a mouthful. But life in this small southern town is about to heat up. The first hint of trouble comes when Hank Brevard, the plant manager of Crozette Hospital, and head nurse Tussie Logan let drop a few remarks that hint at a hospital in turmoil. Then a malicious comment by the hospital's director suggests that there's bad blood between him and his star surgeon, handsome Dr. Bruce Boston. Still, no one takes any of it seriously until Hank Breward turns up dead in the hospital boiler room. Bah, bah, bah. I don't think we need to read anymore. So, I'm excited. we'll see how it goes. I will definitely update you. So the fourth prompt is 911, which is to read a book about our emergency dispatch. So a police officer, a firefighter, a paramedic, an EMT, something in that category. And so for this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and use Intervention by Terry Blackstock. This was part of my March TBR video, and I actually did read this already. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because I did give you kind of a little synopsis in the TBR video, and I will be going over it again in my wrap up at the end of the month, but there is a lot of 911 references in this story. Okay, let's move on to prompt number 5, which is to read a book for Janelle. This is one of the prompts that was very important to me to fulfill because I didn't know Janelle. I didn't watch any of her videos. I didn't even know that her booktube channel existed until I stumbled across March Mystery Madness this year. And it's really sad because going back and looking at her videos, she was such a beautiful lady who just loved mystery books, loved March Mystery Madness, and loved booktube. She passed away like back in September, I believe, and it's really sad. And so this prompt is for her. We're supposed to read a book that either reminds us of her or read a book in her honor, in her memory. And so that's the reason why I had to go back and look at her channel. Go check her out. All her videos are still there last I checked. Link it down below. I think it's called Too Fond of Books. What a beautiful, sweet, gentle, kind, lovely lady. But one of her absolute favorite authors, I think she actually said that her favorite author is Agatha Christie. I do have Murder on the Orient Express on hold at my library, and if I can get my hands on that, that will be the first mystery I read this month. Otherwise, I will just read a few more short stories from this collection here by Agatha Christie in the Miss Marple series. Okay, prompt number 6 is called 9 Patch. So for this prompt, you have to read a mystery book that has a quilt on the cover. And again, this was a little bit tricky for me because I don't own any mysteries. I don't really know what's out there. I actually had to go onto their database and type it in for the keywords. And thank the Lord, this one popped up. This is called Not Ready for Murder by Mary Marks. I don't know anything about this. I didn't even read the back because I didn't care. I just saw that it had a quilt on it and that it's a little mystery. And I was like, okay, this fulfills this prompt. Before quilter Martha Rose can tie the knot to Crusher, she has to track down his missing first wife. One loose thread threatens to unravel Martha's wedding plans. The groom to be married, a pregnant teen to save her from scandal 30 years ago, and the marriage was never annulled. Now Crusher's wife, Hades, is coming to Los Angeles along with his sister, Fania. What are these names? But soon after she arrives, their house guest goes missing, with her mom ransacked and a chloroform-soaked cloth left behind. Could her apparent abduction be connected to her brother's unsolved death from a hit-and-run 6 months ago? Martha and her quilting cohorts must find the pattern to solve the twin mysteries. I see what they did there. And determine if Crusher is still married or now a widower. It sounds so cheesy. I'm so here for it. Again, I don't know if I'll get to it. If I do, awesome. If not, oh well. The next prompt is to read a book that has either the number 9 on the cover or in the title. So for this one, again, I had to do a little bit of research, but I've chosen 9 Lives by Peter Swanson. It says, if you're on the list, someone wants you dead. This sounds exactly up my alley. So this sounds a little more suspenseful, like a thriller, maybe more than like a cozy mystery. From the New York Times bestselling author of 8 Perfect Murders comes the heart-pounding story of 9 strangers who receive a cryptic list with their names on it, and then they begin to die under highly unusual circumstances. Oh, that is really small. 9 strangers receive a list with their names on it in the mail. Nothing else, just a list of names on a single sheet of paper. None of the 9 people know or have ever met the others on the list. They dismiss it as junk mail, a fluke, until very, very bad things begin happening to people on that list. First, a well-liked old man is drowned on a beach in the small town of Kennewick, Maine. Then a father is shot in the back while running through his quiet neighborhood in suburban Massachusetts. A frightening pattern is emerging, but what do these 9 people have in common? Their professions range from oncology nurse to aspiring actor, and they're located all over the country. So why are they all on the list, and who sent it? FBI agent Jessica Winslow, who is on the list herself, is determined to find out. Could there be some dark secret that binds them all together, or is this the work of a murderous madman? As the mysterious sender stalks these 9 strangers, they find themselves constantly looking over their shoulders, wondering who will be crossed off next. Oh my gosh. This sounds fantastic. I literally just picked this up blindly, you guys. This sounds so good. Oh gosh, I hope I get to that, because that's so intriguing. The 8th prompt is to read a book that is 9th in the series. And so for that one, I am going to be doubling up on The Claws in Effect by Rita Mae Brown and Sneaky Pie Brown, because it's the 9th in that series. So, and then the 9th prompt is to read any 9. It just says any other 9. So you can interpret this however you want. You can read a book that has 9 pages, a book that has 9 chapters, a book that was like published in 1999 or 1909. Or interpret it any way you want. And so for this one, I just decided that to make my life a little easier, I would just read. I'm going to go to the table of contents here and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the Speckled Band, that is the 9th one in the table of contents here. That is the one that I will read for this prompt. So don't vote for the Speckled Band, because I'm already going to be reading that. Tell me which other short story in here you think I should read first. Okay, so it's a little bit of a hefty TBR for the rest of the month. Should we combine these little stacks here? Let's do it. This is so ambitious, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What you think of that, friends? What you think of it? You think I can do it? I'm not going to be able to film a ton of videos between now and the end of the month, so it's either I read like a crazy lady or I film some more videos. I do have other videos I want to film for you. I have the BookTube movie tag that I've already actually filmed. I just need to edit it and get it uploaded, so that for sure is coming in March. I really want to do a bookshelf tour, but I think that's probably going to happen in April. And then I also have this haul over here. That's really not a haul because my friend Lane gifted these all to me. This is 2 huge TJ Maxx bags. Look this one. I want you guys to kind of see inside how full it is. Look at this. Look at how many books are in here. This is just one of 2. He gave me these. I did not pay a dime for them. God bless you, Lane. I am so touched and so honored and so blessed to have you as a friend, and I thank you so much. I want to go through these with you guys on camera because I haven't even looked at them, and I think it would be really fun to like go through them together on camera. Give this video a thumbs up if you think that would be fun. I don't know if that'll happen in March. Definitely in April I want that to happen. I also have a wrap up, and I kind of think I'm going to break it up into 2 parts. I'm going to do a wrap up for everything I read the first half of the month, so March 1st through the 15th, and then everything that I read from like the 16th through the end of the month, which is essentially going to be the wrap up for these 2 reading challenges. And yeah, I'm really, really excited. I have like a pile of library books over here too that I really want to read. I have more on my TBR shelf. It's so exhilarating to be behind in the booktube world, y'all. Yeah, just make sure you turn that notification bell on so you don't miss whichever video comes next. It will either be the booktube newbie tag or one of my wrap-ups. Let me know if you're going to be participating in either of these challenges. I think they're very fun. I'm very excited. If you're not subscribed yet, please show me a little love and click that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny, and it really does help me build my channel. The Huskies and I and my husband were trying to hit 500 subscribers by summer, and I know I can do that with your support. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.